I'm going to bark at you for 5 or 10 minutes, and that's it. This could be the most important thing of the convention, of the World Conference, and the next hour could be the most impactful hour of the year for you if you get it. Okay? I want to ask you a question. If you got sick, terminally sick, and you wanted to live and needed a cure, or maybe better yet, there was a better example is there was a deadly virus going around, and people were dying, and you could get inoculated, and your family could get inoculated against that virus, guaranteeing that you wouldn't get sick. Would there be any reason good enough not to get it? Okay? Would money be an excuse? If it was your last $600, would it be an excuse? Would it be worth it? And think why. Just don't say these things. Think why. Would you borrow it if you had to? If you had to travel to the other side of the country and you had no way to get there, or you had to travel to another country, would you use travel as an excuse? Would it be too far or too difficult? Why? Because it's your life, right? It's your family's life. Now think about Market America. Market America really is life. Yes, it's a business, but it's life in a business, and it's a business that creates life, that allows life. Think about it. It's about freedom, success, and independence, isn't it? Now, when you compromise freedom, success, and independence, it's like being sick in life, isn't it? It's compromise. Just like when you're sick, you're not well. When you're not free, when you don't have success, when you're not independent, you have a compromised life. Okay? So in this business, okay, we need a cure against failure or quitting, okay, or not keeping with it until you get your hit, because eventually you will get your hit. Everybody does. You see? An inoculation against diseases of the mind, preventing success. First, you have to want to live. Secondly, you have to want to stay well in order to seek a cure if you get sick. Isn't that true? And in Market America, you have to want success badly, just like you want to live and just like you want to be well. And I love the story about the little boy who wanted to know what success was, and he sought out the smartest man in the world who used to meditate down on the beach every day, and he sought him out, and he went to him, he started asking him, what is success all about? And the man wouldn't answer, and he kept pestering him, until finally the man took him into the water, up to his shoulders, and he pushed him under, and the boy started to struggle, and he started to suck in water, and he started thrashing, and finally he came up for air. And the old man walked him out, and he said nothing. The boy said, why did you do that to me? He says, because you asked what success was. He said, what is success? He says, how bad did you want air when you were beneath that water? He said, I wanted it with all my life. He says, that's what success is. You have to want it like you wanted that breath of air. You see? And that's a true story of Socrates teaching his student Aristotle, two of the wisest men and philosophers in the world, in history. But the fact is, folks, we would not be here today if someone didn't sell me a ticket and I didn't travel to a meeting. Years ago, somebody made me buy a $5 ticket. That's $25 to $35 a day. I drove an hour and a half in traffic on a Saturday when all my friends were down the beach chasing the girls, and I didn't want to go, but that ticket burned a hole in my pocket, and I went. And after that meeting, somebody got me excited about entrepreneurism and residual income and convinced me to buy 300 tickets. What an idiot. $1,500 Today, that $1,500 would be $37,000. Would you write a check for $37,000? It burned a hole in my pocket. I had no choice. I had to sell those tickets. Sold 290 of them. You say, what happened to the other 10? We ate them. I had to move them. 200 people came to the meeting. You ask, what happened to the other 90? They didn't show up. But what about the 200 that did? You see, and as a result of that, we set something in motion that carried a motion. Now, if I could give you one single thing this weekend, one silver bullet that you've been searching for, the magic potent, the best practice, the golden thread that runs through every success story that I've ever seen in this business, which can be validated by every one of the people sitting up here making the millions, is get your ticket now and at least 2 others, duplicate it into your group, and know how many tickets have moved into your group, because that's the measurement of where you're at. That's the bullet. Now, why? And I'm going to be fast. You got to be at Convention and World Conference. You have to be there to be in, because this is a business. If you're not, this is the business right here, the reality of it. So if you're not here, you're not in it. So the most important person in the business is you. And we all know you have to lead by example. What's the saying? You cannot lead where you will not go, and you cannot teach what you do not know. How are you going to teach this stuff today if you weren't here? 6 months of development occurs in one weekend. 6 months of learning is happening right now. Would you agree with that? Okay. You program the brain. I'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll show you how we programmed Betty Weber's brain. Okay? Relationships, lifelong friendships that you would never find anywhere else. Connections across the country to build your business. Connections with people that know stuff that you don't. Confidence, knowledge, and belief. How do you succeed without them? Now, how would you possibly get all of this if you weren't here? All of what was just presented. How would you get it? By us sending you a PowerPoint? By looking at a webinar? How would you learn it? And even if you did get the material, would it be the same? Would it have the same impact? You see? It's funny, we live streamed for an hour because people were coming in. And because people in the business that had dropped out or that were stagnant or stale saw it, they started calling advisory council members, calling people. I heard of at least 40 or 50 calls where people wanted to get back in. That's the impact of one of these events. You see what I'm saying? And the second reason is, it's the only shortcut to success in 20-some years I've ever discovered. The only shortcut to success. If you get 2 people here and they are impacted and affected the way you are now, they decide they're going to do it with you or without you. Frankly, they don't care what you think anymore. And as a result of that, you become a hopeless success, because they're going to do it with you or without you, and when they do it, you end up succeeding anyway. That's the shortcut to success. You see? And we know the secret of the business in your group is what? Duplication. Now, think about this. Please think about this. Don't let it go in one ear and out the other. When you go home, all the people that aren't here don't know anything. They don't even know what they don't know. And you now have the task of explaining them to them. I'm telling you something. It takes too much work and too much time to explain it. It's almost impossible. I'd rather work smarter than harder and get the tickets and make them buy them, because I don't want to work that hard to explain it all to them. Does that make sense? But I understand money is tight. Let's be realistic, JR. Money's tight. The economy's bad, and I'm not making any money yet. Well, what difference is saving $600 on tickets going to make to change things right now for you? If you don't buy 3 tickets and you save $600 in this economy and with you making no money and with the job situation, what difference is it going to make anyway? You're still going to be in the same situation. So you didn't save anything. But what can those 3 tickets, $600, change about the future? What could it change? If you save it, it ain't going to change anything. But if you get them, what might happen, like happened to me 28 years ago? You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that moment. Just remember that. The law of creation and attraction is something that I have learned, and it has been demonstrated in my own life. I am no better than anybody here. I am one of you. I sat there with the same fears. I understand how you feel. I know how you think. And I learned why I succeeded and people around me that had the same chance in it. It's called the law of creation and attraction. It's God's golden gift to mankind. You see, you have to believe something for it to happen. And what you're believing right now is exactly what you have. But you see, you can say you believe, but until you accept it, it will never happen. When you accept it, it manifests in your life. We're all proof of it right now because the law is working all the time. Now, the key to this is demonstration of acceptance. God or the universe is looking for your demonstration to prove your belief and acceptance. You can want it all you want, but all you're going to get is wanting. So you heard the saying, the parable, or the scripture, ask and you shall receive, as all things are possible unto him who believes. Well, you see, no tickets. You just demonstrated your belief and acceptance to God and the universe. You just demonstrated it. It doesn't matter what you say, what you think. So circumstances are created based on our demonstration. And even if you don't know how you're going to get there or how you're going to move the tickets, manifestation happens anyway because the circumstances are created. They come out of nowhere. I've experienced it in my own life over and over and over again. And you're looking for it, I'm trying to give it to you, and a lot of you will never accept it. Well, by not having the tickets, you just bought your ticket to fail. That's the honest to God truth. And I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm just trying to be truthful. You see, the cards are stacked against you to fail. You're wasting your time. Why'd you come here? You're so worried about $600 that you can't make $187,000. Travel and food and hotel, though, JR, that's a lot. It runs into thousands. Don't worry about it. Worry about it later. You got the tickets and get the people there, you'll be making money. And the money will be there. It's funny how it appears. I'm telling you. And I'm going to tell you something else. Whether you accept it or not, whether you're a prognosticator and think you know it all, you think you can second guess everything, and it won't be sold out. It's going to be sold out. Did you see what just happened with Shop.com? The traffic, the exposure, the blow up, the media. There's a new generation coming in regardless of what you do. You see, Blitz Tour, we're going hitting the streets with this across the country. And the whole objective is to get people to the convention. You think I can sell them? Live stream effect, calls, email, word's out all over the place. People are waking up again, and they're going to be here. I'm going to do college campus tours and webinars on colleges because we got to sponsor up, and sponsoring up isn't hiring Brett Favre, okay, who's a great quarterback. You got to hire a young guy who can throw the ball now. You get what I mean? Not Shaq O'Neal, the young new player. Yeah, they were great, and we're going to get them. With you or without you, I hope you're with me. But it's going to fill the convention. The corporate team has made a commitment. Each one of us, we're picking 10 to 20 key people across the country that we're going to re-sponsor and build with, and each one of us are going to build a new leg. Kevin's got a whole new leg of Melaleuca type people coming into Capital, whatever. Dennis has a new leg. I have a new leg. Marty has Dr. Schnurr. We're going to really kick it in. So a magic moment is when a decision has to be made. The future's uncertain or undetermined. There's no guarantees, and fear sets in. It takes risk and sacrifices to succeed, and now they have to be made. You decide or you don't decide, and by not deciding, you decided by default. It takes a leap of faith, a billionth of a volt that sparks across the cerebral cortex, and the decision that you make actually ended up determining the undetermined future. It's happened for me hundreds of times, and I talk about them in this company, when somebody made that leap of faith and their actual decision determined the future and the outcome that was undetermined at the time of the decision. So it's up to you to determine what happens by what you decide and do here now, right now. Did you get it or not? It's a litmus paper test. You stick the piece of litmus paper in, it says either acid or base or neutral. And neutral, it doesn't matter. You're in and out. You're in or out of bounds. It's a boundary line. Limited funds, a lot of stuff to buy. I don't have enough money. Get the tickets first. More money will appear. If you get one, you're still in. If you get three, okay, 3 is a minimum if you expect to grow. If you have to borrow it, I would never say this, do it. Lead by example, then duplicate and get your people to decide and act. One goal this weekend as a leader, as a team builder, as a coach, as a CEO, should be how many tickets are in my organization. It's a barometer that tells you where you're at. It's a litmus paper test that tells you if you're succeeding or not. It's a meter for measure, monitor, adjust, and control. How healthy is your business? It's the vital signs, the blood pressure, the pulse. It's an indication of your progress, okay? So how many tickets did you and your people get? If you don't know, you're not a very good leader. 1, that's great. 3, 10, more. It's the highest and best use of money. It's an inoculation against diseases in the business, like excuseitis, detailitis, doubt paralysis, mental constipation, analysis paralysis, clueless dementia, confidence anemia, and bowel optic, when your bowels are hooked up to the optic nerve and you get a bad outlook on life. Okay? It's definitely a cure for the sick that are not growing, failing, or inactive, and may quit. That's dying. The only shortcut to success is getting people there. The bottom line, the net, is how many tickets. Do it now. Get it done before the lines, before the rush to leave Miami, before you allow circumstances to interfere, because it makes all the difference in the world. And now's the time to do it. See you this afternoon.